Shalom, 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 shalom. Right, we your brothers from the hopeful elect. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In the name of His only begotten Son, the Alpha, the Omega, and the beginning and the end. Right, the beginning and the end. Shout out to the sister Mary of Bethany that anointed our King with the precious ointment before His burial. And also, shout out to our ancestors that came before us that chose death before dishonor, man. Today's lesson is going to be called "Don't Sell Your Soul for a Job." Do not sell your soul for a job. And the reason why I titled this lesson is, and the reason why I got the whole idea of making this lesson is because I watched the video. It's an older video. I watched it I don't know if when it first came out, but I seen it a couple years back, probably longer than that. And I just been rewatching it since, man, because the elder was dropping some gems, right? It's a older brother, right? He probably in his, like, when he made the video, he probably like it was in his 50s, late 50s, early 60s. I could be wrong though, but he was dropping some wisdom, man, dropping some wisdom. So he said a lot of things that stood out to me in the video, but I just want to make a lesson on this particular thing that he said. He spoke on for like 5 seconds, but I want to bring some scriptures out to get more in depth with what he said, because it was real. But I'm finna share my screen, get the blowing on the shofar. And we're gonna hop into this thing, Lord willing. Come, all praise to the Most High, man. And here go the video right here, man. I know, I think his name Prakasaka. He uploaded this video, but he wasn't the person that filmed this video. But I think it's at 9:16 when he say what I think I want about selling your soul for the job. I'm gonna go back some. But fair use, just for educational purposes only. But yeah.
Real or fake, we're gonna go through the fire. You're gonna have disagreement with each other, but it's okay. You're gonna be friends, but if you have a disagreement, it's just a different agreement. That don't mean you ain't gotta see her no more and talk to her or talk to her or whatever. I want to go to work. I don't want to go to work because they stressing me out on the job. You feel me? They ain't receiving me with my full potential. And I don't know why I don't want to go to work. I gotta understand why. Why I don't want the job? Because something ain't right. And I gotta acknowledge it. I ain't gonna sell my soul for the job. God said, I'm trying to put you over here. I gotta. Why I don't want the job? Because something ain't right. And I gotta acknowledge it. I ain't gonna sell my soul for the job. God said.
So that's why I got the title of this video from, man. I just wanted to touch on this a little more because a lot of people, they sell their soul for a job. And this brother saying, or this elder was saying, like, I can't do that. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. I don't want to sell my soul for a job. And Lord willing, I could touch on or we can touch on how you can sell your soul for a job in many ways and may not even know it. But can the brother get this scripture on the screen first?
Khan, this is Exodus 20:3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right. So this is a commandment, right? The Most High God of Israel, he said, y'all can't have no other gods before me. Right? I am the one true God, right? I'm the one that created the heavens and the earth and what you see with your two eyes. I don't want you worshiping nothing else besides me, right? I'm the big dog. So when you tend to put things over the Most High, in a sense, that kind of becomes your God, right? And you may not be getting on your knees and bowing down to it, but you're giving that thing or person, it can become a person or a thing, you giving that more time than you do the Lord. And we know the Most High God is a jealous God. So if we give something more time than him, and if we drift away from him and start focusing strictly on this thing or this person, that the Most High God is not with that, man. The Most High God said, I want your love and I want your attention. Don't be going to no witches or no warlocks, right? Don't be going to them people that be reading your palms and stuff like that. Don't be going to no necromancers. You don't need them. What you need them for? You got me. So the Most High God saying, man, I am the one true God, and you don't have to serve nobody else but me, man.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Come on, man, it's a good lesson because literally last night or this morning, I can't remember. There's a girl in the truth, man, and she's offering readings. You know, she's offering readings, and she's taking donations because she's trying to escape the 9 to 5 of Babylon and go to Costa Rica and live out her dreams. But that just goes to so don't sell your soul and try to use the gifts that you think God gave you for money, man. Right? Because at that point, you know, you're making yourself a god, right? I know we are God's little g, but you know, you're making yourself that God that's before the Most High God, right? And you offering readings. What do you think you're doing? You've drifted far away from the truth, man, and you sold your soul to this earth. Because
That's a good point. See, I didn't even know that about our people, somebody in the truth doing that, man. But that just shows the mindset of a lot of our people, even in the truth. A lot of our minds not right, man. A lot of our minds was right when we first came into the truth, but it slowly drifts away. It slowly starts drifting into things of this world. Well, I mean, he ain't came back yet. Christ ain't came back yet. I mean, I got time to do this, right? Or, you know, I mean, nothing ain't wrong with readings, card readings. I mean, the Lord blessed me to do this, right? This is a gift that I can do. I can use this to make money. No, man. No. The Most High God said, you should not serve or worship no other gods before him, man. And doing these other things and drifting off. That's another reason why the Lord said he don't want us to do those things. Because you're giving your love, just like the brother Azrael, right? He doing lessons every Friday going into the Divine Nine. And we read their ritual books. A lot of their rituals are them saying oaths to Greek gods. So they breaking Exodus 20 and 3 right there. Saying I'm giving all my love and care to this organization. I'm giving all my love to this God, this goddess. So a lot of people, that's why I say you can sell your soul in different ways. Now I know people here sell their soul, they think of Hollywood and you writing down, your name on blood on the record label, which that's true. That's another way you can sell your soul, by giving up your morals. But you also can sell your soul day by day when you're doing things, and you focusing on other things besides the Most High, and you giving all your time to these things. You become a slave to these things that you're giving time over the Most High. But you can get this scripture, King.
Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon.
Right. So you can't serve two gods, man. Right. That's why going back to Exodus 20 and 3, right? The Most High God said, don't put other gods before him. You can't play both sides. You can't choose this world the things of this world, and then try to follow the Most High, because this world, a lot of the things in this world contradicts the Bible. A lot of these things of the world, like the scriptures say, are the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh. So you can't do both, man. And when the elder was saying he not selling his soul for a job, a lot of people, when it comes to the jobs, they trim their ways. A lot of people compromise when it comes to jobs, and that's you selling your soul, man. Right? You know that this job gonna have you working on the Sabbath day. They told you, you're gonna have to come in Saturday, and you still take the job because you talking about it's good pay. That's you selling your soul, man. That's you. That's you. You're choosing Satan over the Most High. You choosing Satan, man. You basically saying, well, I know God don't want me to do this, but I mean the money looking right though. I need the money. I'm sure he'll understand. No, that's you choosing that's you selling your soul or selling your soul for a job, man. Bound down to Satan. It is no difference when you breaking the Shabbat for a job that's slaving. That's why you slaving. It's no difference than when you read in the book of Daniel, the 3 Hebrew boys didn't want to bow down to that idol, but you had everybody else bowing down. They was with the system. They was willing to do whatever. I think Nebuchadnezzar was the one that was king during that time. They was willing to do whatever he said. There's no difference in today's time when you willing to compromise your morals and your beliefs for a job, man. And it could be another way like this. I just had a brain fart. Or I was going to say it could be something like you may get too greedy. Right? You say you got a job already, right? That's doing good. Like you got a job already that's good, right? But you like, man, I want some more money though. I want to get this. I want to get this. I want to get this car. I want to get this bigger house. I want to get this jewelry. I want to get these chains. So you getting 3 or 4 jobs that you can't maintain. But you can maintain, but it's taking your love away from the Most High. So now you spending so much time doing the work. That's why the brother was saying about selling your soul. Selling your soul. You working so much, right? You putting your mind so much on this job and these jobs that your duty for the Lord has kind of been drifting. You ain't serving your husband no more, right? Because you so focused on working these jobs, you forget you ain't even being a wife. You ain't barely home because you going to all these different jobs, and you don't even have to a lot of times. You just doing it because you want more money, because you don't want to depend on no nigga, like a lot of women say. I want my own, right? A lot of women in the world say that I want my own, man. I'm gonna get my own, so no man can tell me what to do. So now your house all out of order now. Now nothing ain't, not a man looking like what's going on because you've been a slave to the job, man. You being so much focused on selling your soul and just work to now the Most High like, where you at? You ain't opened up, you ain't read my book in 3 months. And a lot of times we tend to forget the Lord can take the same way you got that position, the same way you got that a bonus or another job or a job. The Most High can bring you down. The Most High God can take that from you, man. I know some people, man. I know some people that that they got another job, got a job, right? And they start flexing. Flexing their money and everything to the point where the Most High had to humble them. Right? The Most High brought them down. Then they like, dang, now you don't really see them post no more. But the Most High God to do that, man, because a lot of people get puffed up, when that money started coming in, and they tend to forget about the Most High God. They tend to forget about the works of the Lord. Man, I gotta. Yes, this job is my job, but this is not my number one job, though. We gotta always remember that this job, this carnal job that pays us, right, to feed our families, This is not our number one job, man. Our number one job is the ministry. And if your job is coming in the way of your ministry work, hey, you gotta change some things up. A lot of times in this truth, we gotta change things up, man, to make it fit the Most High, right? To fit His schedule, right? Because the Most High God come first. So the job, if we know that our job comes second, we got to try to figure some things out, right? How can I still maintain this job, right? But still be having the Most High as my forefront. Or I can do it like this, right? Or sometimes you may have to find another job. If you see that this job is trying to, like the elder said, trying to have you sell your soul. They keep calling you they keep telling you to come in. They're trying to work you like a Hebrew slave. Then when you get home, right, you tired and you feel like all the day been wasted when it comes to the Lord because you ain't had time to get into His word like that because you've been just working. You may gotta find another job, man. Same thing on the Sabbath day. If they trying to have you to work on the Sabbath day, you may gotta find another job, right? Because nothing should come in the way of us and the Most High God. If it is, we gotta cut it off, man. What Christ said in that parable, is if something offends you, cut it off. Well, I think He said something like cut your right hand off. If roughly paraphrasing, if it offends you, if brother, let me get that real quick because that's a good point to go with.
Yeah, they say like if your right hand offends, then cut your right hand off, or if your eyes offend, then pluck your eye out. It's better to live with one eye than to, something like that.
Con. And I'm not saying to not work, right? Cause we know you have to work, right? If you don't work, you don't eat. I'm not saying to not work, or if you need this money to get a job, or if you need another job, get another job. But what I'm saying is you have to, before you even make a move, you have to make sure, okay, I'm good with the Most High, right? This is not going to affect me from the work of the Lord, right? This job right here paying good, right? This job right here paying good, but I can't take this job because it's gonna have me working too much. It's gonna have me working too much, and I ain't gonna have time. I ain't gonna have time for nothing. I ain't gonna have time to read. I ain't gonna have time to study. I ain't gonna have time to get on calls like this. I ain't gonna have time to street teach because it's gonna be taking so much of your time. You have to think about these things, man, before you make a move. You always gotta have the Most High in the center of your move before you even make it. If this is gonna affect me, I can't do it. But can the brother get this?
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 30. And it reads, "And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell."
Right, man. So if something offends you, right, something having you go off, or something just in your way that's stopping you from the Lord. And since I titled this video, "Don't Sell Your Soul for Work," I'm gonna be talking about strictly work or job. So if something within your job, you say it could be a person at your job. It could be if you're a woman, it could be a man at your job, right? That's trying to distract you or trying to basically Satan be hopping on them. Or it can be, or if you're a man, it could be a woman that can be distracting you from the mission. So now you so focused on that person, right, at your job that you ain't even focused on the Lord no more for real. Right? That's why, man, that's why we have to stay prayed up when we go to job sites with a lot of spirits there, man. Because spirits can hop, right? Spirits, they do hop. So we have to stay prayed up throughout the day, because when you're around a lot of people all the time, every day, the things that they do or how they think or how they talk can come upon you. And you want to like, damn, I'm talking like this person. I'm acting like this person. I want to hang with this person, because it's spirits, man. So that's why throughout the day We have to stay prayed up if we can on your break. Get you some reading in, man. That's the perfect time to get some reading in, right? When you on your break, if you haven't read all day, to get some reading in,
So like
right?
you too.
Don't be. Go ahead.
I was gonna say too, man, you know, them spirits hop not just all people that you know, but we live in an age of social media. You'll be talking like your favorite comedian, you'll be talking like your favorite streamer, saying all the stuff that they say, not even knowing it. Because you know that spirit will hop quick, right? Another thing too, uh, a lot of people get caught selling their soul because they don't know God for real. Y'all don't know the Father for real, so y'all don't know how he moves. And you guys have been deceived to think that every good thing, right? Every good thing comes from the Lord, right? We know that, we know what the scriptures say, but you have to have eyes to see, right? And when I mean that, I mean you have to understand that, you will be tested as well. But a lot of people, man, y'all sell out. Why? Because you say, man, God gave me this opportunity. Surely he wants me to take it. God gave me this increase in money. Surely he's dealing with me. Yeah, I know I do makeup Sabbaths. Yeah, I know I skip a Sabbath and do a makeup Sabbath. What is a makeup Sabbath, first of all? Yeah, I know I do makeup Sabbaths. But God got me all this. He got me this far. I know he's dealing with me. So I know, he's okay with me doing this. But a lot of times we trick ourselves, man. We trick ourselves into not being as mighty as we're supposed to be, as righteous as we're supposed to be. Why? Because we think that God is a different God. We'll
Mm-hmm.
find out sooner or later what kind of God he is.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things that Satan used to bring our people down, man. We know he can use women for the men and also men for the women, but he also can use wealth and materialistic things. Cause like the brother Azrael saying, that can really stop you from like a job that's paying good can really stop you from. And if you so focus on that job, not saying nothing wrong with a job that pay good, but if your focus is strictly on that and you kind of turning away from your mission, number one mission is the ministry, right? If you so focus on this, and where I was going with this, if you so focus on this job, what I was gonna say, oh yeah, it can stop you from reaching your full potential because now you kind of sitting back now. You so tired to do something now because, like the brother Elder said again, you selling your soul for the job, man. Working like a Hebrew slave to the point where now it's like, dang, like the Most High God calling you to be greater. Sis, brother, the Most High God is calling you to be greater, but it's like you're not reaching your full potential because you're a slave, right?
Man.
You're a slave
Salaki,
to a job, huh?
that's a good point because, like, Salaki, man, there have been plenty of times where we get with brothers, man, whether we're doing like a unity camp or just fellowshipping or whatnot with another congregation, and then you see some brothers, they might pull up late or, what I'm saying, they might be there, but they might be dog tired from slaving at work. And they tell, that I'm sitting this one out, man. Y'all do y'all thing, you know what I'm saying? They have that attitude. And if your job is taking that much out of you to where when it's time to put in work for the Lord, right? That you can't even contribute, bro. You might want to look for another job. You know what I'm saying? Because like your brother Obadiah is saying, that's our first love. That's supposed to be our main priority. This other stuff is just fillers, right? That we got to do in this human life, right? But if you and you got to think too, the work of the Lord really isn't complicated, bro. It shouldn't be that hard. So read a few scriptures here and there, right? And if the word is really within us, man, right? As teachers, it should come to us natural, right? You know what I'm saying? So like the Most High, his spirit should, if his spirit is dwelling in you, you shouldn't be too tired to feed his sheep or to spread the gospel or to talk about how good he's been, right? Or talk about, anything that's pertaining to him. It should be in you. And if something is making you that tired to where you can't even tap into the spirit that God has placed within you, bro, you might want to look for something else, man.
And that's what comes with, man. We got to keep the mindset. Like, I know sometimes it can be hard, man, but we have to keep the mindset on everything. Like what Solomon said, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. But you have some people, you know how you had them people. I know people probably work with people like this. They look at the job like they go. It's like just say they working at Amazon, right? And they like, what I'm trying to say, them annoying co-workers that act like they finna own the company. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them annoying co-workers that they act like they act like they the boss.
Bro, you've been a sales associate for 4 years, bro. You ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have, like, don't get the mindset of these bosses telling you, because someone may tell you, oh yeah, you keep doing this, you're gonna be moved up to this. And then they tell a lot of our people that, and then they be like, yeah, they look forward to it, and they start focusing on that because they want this position change and moved up. But the whole time, sometimes they give it to them, but sometimes they don't. They're just playing with them. But at the end of the day, we have to look at it like it's just a job, though. I mean, it's a job that's feeding my family, but it's nothing but a job. Like, it's just a job, man. Like, but a lot of people, they start going off and they start slaving to the job and selling their soul when they look at it as bigger than the job. Like, no, this I can run this one day. Or he said that I can be over the workers. So I'm gonna take this job very seriously. Why are you 5 seconds late? Why are you 15 seconds late? I'm gonna write your name down. That's a check. That's like, come on, bro. Calm down, bro.
Yeah, some people, man, they fall in love with their job. Around the whole COVID time, a lot of people were getting laid off. And, when you get laid off during that time, the government was paying you for being laid off. But a lot of people, they didn't care about getting paid and having time away from the job. A lot of people wanted to be right there on the job because they fell in love with their job.
Yeah.
They didn't have no life.
People was crying when they got laid off, man.
Right, that was their life. They love coming, talking to their coworkers, drinking coffee. They love working for their jobs projects and all of that. They love that. They live for it. They become their life. Their coworkers become their family.
To that point, though, man, you should be like, man, your occupation should be your side gig, bro. Let's be real. If you get laid off, you should be happy. More time for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? More time I can clock in for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But that's only if you tapped into the spirit that you're gonna feel that way. If you're not, you're gonna get down in the dumps. What am I gonna do now? Right? You're gonna start worrying. But that's why he tells us in Luke that, hey, give no thought about tomorrow and how you're gonna feed your family, because he feeds the ravens, right? He clothes the flowers. How much more are you?
Man. And if you have a job that's trying to just slave you, man, and if you don't have to take overtime, don't take overtime, bro. You have some people just take overtime. They don't need it, but they're just taking it because I want more. Maybe the boss will be proud of me if I come in, right? But take it if you need it, right? If you need some extra money, but if you don't need it and you just there because you don't got nothing, you love the job so much that you ain't got nothing else to do, and then when it's time to do the work of the Lord, now you saying, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, sis. But you ain't because you overworking yourself. Something that you didn't have to do, you're doing it. So we have to be wise, man, and making sure that we're not being a slave to the job, man. We're not selling our soul for a job. Because, matter of fact, can you get the scripture, King?
Con, this is 1 Corinthians 10:21. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
So this kind of go with the scripture I had just pulled in Matthew 6. You can't serve two masters, man. Right? You can't serve two masters. Either you're going to choose one. You're going to drink of the cup of the Lord, or you're going to drink of the cup of devils, man. A lot of times, Satan that's one of the main things he used to stop us from getting close to the Lord. He try to, like, if he see that he can't get you, like he see that you always doing something and you always moving, right? He try to tire you out, right? Satan would try to tire you out because he know if he can tire you out mentally and make you feel tired and also physically, that you're not gonna want to have time to do nothing else but rest and sleep. That's the only thing you want to do. You've been working all day. He say, "Oh, I'm tired of this person out," so he don't or she don't want to read, or he or she don't want to study. So that's one of the tools Satan uses well too, to try to get us exhausted, to not get into his word, get us sleepy. And that's what comes with, like I was saying before, you have to have, sometimes you may have to make a change. You got to find, sometimes the Lord want to see, are you gonna try to work it out, right? For me, are you gonna try to find time to read for me? Okay, you may be working, right, but are you gonna find some time throughout the day with that little break that you have on the job? Are you gonna read my word? Are you gonna pray? Are you gonna find time to pray for me, even though you're working, right? When you get off, I know you're tired, but are you gonna have like are you gonna read before you go to sleep, right? Before you get too sleepy? Are you not? This is things like that, man. The Most High God want to see: are we gonna fight? Are we gonna fight to please and serve Him? Because that's part of this walk. Can the brother get Jeremiah 2:33?
Jeremiah chapter 2 and 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
So the Bible says, why trimmeth thy way to seek love, man? Like, a lot of people trim their way to seek love. My boss told me to come in on the Sabbath. I mean, he been saying that I'm his best worker. If I don't go in, he may take my position from me. He may give it to somebody else, or she may dislike me. So I'm gonna go in just this one time. I'm just this one time, bro. Only this one time, and that's it. We can't trim our ways, right, to seek love for nobody, even our bosses, right? Even our bosses. We can't trim our ways for nothing, man. Nothing in this world is worth dying for. None of these corner things that we see, a job, like we talking about a job. These people can fire you, and hire somebody else the next day. You gone, somebody else in your position, just like that. Like, so these jobs don't be caring, but be caring about us, man. You know, so we gotta have that mindset too. I'm just a worker, right? They can fire me any day. They can do whatever they want, and I'll be gone. They get somebody else.
Yeah, and you can it says, why trimmest thou way to see love? You can make excuses to do stuff in the name of love, whether it be for a relationship, a family member. I'm doing this to pay these hospital bills. The Lord will understand. I'm doing this so I can provide for my girl. I'm really trying to get married. Or even women. There's women getting finessed out of money too, and they women is scamming and doing all different type of stuff. They selling pictures. Hey, y'all, hey, it's crazy out here. But why trimmest your ways to seek love? You know why you shouldn't do that? Because the second part of this, it says you taught wicked ones thy ways. You don't know who's watching you that see you do something and be like, well, so and so did it, so I can do it. You done provoke somebody else to do exactly what you're doing. That's how people start working on the Sabbath, because they see other people. Oh, so and so work on the Sabbath. Oh, so and so, did this. So it's okay. It's not really prostitution if I get one of these accounts, because I'm not gonna sell my body. I'm just gonna, you see little things like this happen, man. You start trimming your ways, making excuses, what it really is, and you causing others to err. So now not only the blood is on your hands, the blood of other people is on your hands too.
And don't think that it's only go for people that's workers, because you can have your own business and still sell your soul to a job, right? Just say you have your own lawn care business, or your own construction business, or you are a coach, right? Just say you a high school football coach. you can sell your soul. You can focus so much on that to the point where you're not worried about the Lord. So it don't go with just work. It also go if you being a boss too. Because a lot of bosses, they worship. I feel like a lot of them worship their work and things more than a lot of these workers do, right? Because this is their business, right? If it crumble down, it's all gonna be on them at the end of the day. So a lot of these people be so focused on work, man, and money. You know, you can't. They can't have no time off. And if you can't, if you can't get off for work on the Sabbath day, that means you worship your job. If you're not trying to get off, you ain't saying nothing, and you feel like you would rather work than to get off because you feel like, man, this is the day that the most people come and I get the most money, and Saturdays is the day that they pay more, or I get paid on, like, all the type of stuff like that. If you can't rest on one day, we talking about the Sabbath day. If you can't take off work because you would rather work instead of rest, that means that you a slave to that job, right? That means that you worship that job. But and the brother get this scripture.
God, this Galatians 1:10. It reads, "For do I now persuade men or God, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ."
Right, man. Who we trying to persuade, man? Who we trying to persuade? Are we trying to persuade men that we the best worker? You can depend on me, coach. Like, are we trying to persuade them, or are we trying to persuade God? Right? Are we trying to persuade the Most High God that we are a humble servant? Right? Are we trying to get the kingdom of heaven? Right? We love you. We keeping the commandments to the best of our ability. Who we trying to persuade more, man? We gotta ask ourselves that daily. Are we so focused on persuading men, or are we trying to focus on persuading the Lord? Because at the end of the day, that's gonna most be important. Persuading the Lord, that we want the kingdom, that we love our neighbors ourselves, right? That we honor our father and our mother. This is what's the most important thing, man. He said, "Or do I seek to please men?" Right? You can't please men, and also they can't be your main focus trying to please men. And also, you saying your main focus is to please the Lord. No, you can't do that, man. Right? You can't do that. If you pleasing the Lord, if you this is how it go, right? If you pleasing the Lord and doing the best of your ability with the Lord, people automatically gonna like you. You ain't gotta try to persuade men. You ain't gotta try to put on the front and try to act like you this person. No, if you being sincere with the Lord, a lot of people gonna genuinely like you,
Right.
because you're a stand-up person. Or you may have people hating, of course, because you got the light. But if you being yourself, you ain't gotta focus on trying to step out the way and trying to be the class clown. If you go to school, trying to be the face of the classroom and things like that, or trying to persuade people that you're not crazy. This is the truth. I'm not crazy, right? The Lord did say don't work on Saturday. Nah, man. Shoot, people gonna think what they want to think. People gonna say what they want to say. But as long as we pleasing the Most High God, that's what comes first. That's the only thing that matters. He said, "For if you yet please men, I should not be a servant of Christ." So if you're focused on pleasing man, you can't be a servant of Christ, man, because you're not gonna reach your full potential if you're so focused on pleasing men. If you always caring about what people think about you, if you always care about what people saying about you, you're not gonna reach your full potential, because you're gonna be so focused on what they're saying about you that you're not going. A lot of times you may not want to do something. You may not want to upload a video to your page, right? You may not want to go out and teach because you scared what your family members gonna say about you. You're trying to please them so much. We can't care about what they think. We can't let nobody get into the way, get in our way on serving the Most High God. Nobody, right? But this is the last scripture right here in the book of Acts right here. Can a brother get this last scripture?
This is Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey God rather than men."
We are to obey God rather than men. Simple, right? That's the number one thing, man. We ought to obey the Most High God rather than men. So men shouldn't get into the way or get in our way on how we feel about the Lord in our works, in our ministry work for the Lord. Men shouldn't get into the way. A job shouldn't get into the way. Get into the way of that. A loved one shouldn't get into the way of that. Nothing should get into the way of that. Period. Right. But that's all I had, man. That's all I had, man. All praise to the Most High. Did any brother have something, man? Con.
Mighty lesson though, man.
I
Powerful.
had some. Hey man, I was watching a clip. Well, I was looking at a picture of somebody that was clipped by saying, in this life, they was kind of like, I'm 34 with no kids, but why would I want to have kids, man? I'm getting all this money,
Mm.
and it just made me think like sometimes, some people in this world, man, they God is money. Like money is really all they really want. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, we just brainwashed and taught to believe that if we got money, we winning in life. But there's riches more than what you got in your bank account. And that's why it's important to know that there are things that are greater than money can buy. Like, doing the work of the Lord. You really shouldn't want to take money over, being able to like fellowship with family, spend quality time with a brother, push the truth of the gospel. But it's just one of those things like, especially with our young people, you got to watch videos like this to help you get a different perspective on how life could be, really should be, in all honesty. Because again, we only taught to look at things from one side of the spectrum, but lessons like this are great because a lot of young people could use this to help them, you know, get the real big picture of life, which is, to fear God and keep his commandments. But mighty lesson I yield.
Con.
Man, this shout out to Divine Denim, House of Shamar, man, W5 Detroit. He says we're here to serve God and love people, not the other way around. And I agree with that. Nowadays people tend to serve people and say they love God, right? But love is an action word. And like the brother Isaiah just said too, we live in a generation now where everybody's comfortable and complacent with doing shrooms, weed, pills, and just getting money at their job and coming home to their girl. They don't want kids. They don't want no family. They don't want nothing else that's godly. They just want to serve themselves, bro. That's all we live in a generation. They just want to serve themselves. And money has become their God. So they done sold their soul for, the money. And to do whatever they want to be able to just go on vacation whenever they want to, and they take pictures and put it to social media and pop it and all that. They done lost the true plan of God, right? To be fruitful and multiply and teach kids to love God's commandments as well, so they can do the same and grow up and do the same thing. But we finna go extinct if everybody's just doing mushrooms, playing 2K, and getting their money and going on vacations every summer. Come on, bro. It's more than that.
And that's why a lot of times you have a lot of people so focused on chasing a bag is because most of these rappers talk about that in their music, man. Like a lot of these rap songs that you listen to, they gonna mention money in the lyrics. They might say money, they might say chicken, or some people call it chicken. They might get this bag. So like they may mention or get this bread. They may mention money, or even when you watch the music video, they're gonna be flexing money a lot of times with a blunt in their mouth, flexing money. So it's like you hearing this music and you watching these music videos of these artists talking about money. They even got songs like money, 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 money. So it's like like people love money so much, man. So we definitely got to guard our eyes and guard our ears, from the things that we see and the things that we watch, because that can slowly persuade us to chase that money trail.
Salakia, and this the last thing I say. This the last thing I say, Salakia. But I was saying, the dude that I seen the clip from was Ben Don. He's a streamer and he
Yeah.
real cool with Drake. And somebody put in the comments, man, they was like, man, his response to everything is money. And it was crazy because, the thing is, man, that's why in the world you gotta like stay in your lane. Even the wisdom in Sirach tell us, to associate with people of our own class. You know what I'm saying? Because some people they got a lot of money and they don't mind telling you about it at every opportunity they get. Some people that's all they have in life is the money that they make. So you got to be somebody that knows that, okay, you got to disassociate yourself with people that's really all they care about. That's all they live for. Because if money is their God, then guess what they'll be able to do? They'll easily be able to cross you up for the sake of money because money is what they want. You know what I'm saying? They don't want true companionship. They don't want true friendship. They don't want really true brotherhood. If it comes with the money, that's cool. But really, I just want the money, you know? So you just got to beware of them type of people, man. You got to make sure that you're doing whatever you can do to, again, like the brother said in the comments, serve the Most High and love people in the process of doing so. But I yield.
Mighty points, man. Mighty points, man. But yeah, all praise to the Most High, man. This the lesson for the night. And Lord willing, we'll be back on Friday. The brother Azrael, Lord willing, he'll have a lesson planned out, set up, man. So we your brothers from the hopeful elect, man. Until then, Lord willing, we say shalom. Shalom.